to plan as you could have wished for, to be perfectly honest. With the position we are in the league, and the quality of the club, where the club is at the moment, particularly the under 18s, who's going from strength to strength as well, and just the whole of the club, from even the position of off the pitch as well. We've probably never been in a better state financially than the club is now at the moment. We've got the ground going, which is it's slow. Got to keep ticking these boxes, particularly where politicians and politics take place and things. That is, as I say, very slowly ticking the boxes, but it's still moving ahead. And in fact, we've had our own lady, like sort of PA, that has been associated with us now, assigned to us for ongoing stuff and picking up grants and things to advisors and all that. So it is going places, which is all part of that 2020 plan and beyond. But on the football pitch, it's going extremely well. Well, I've been in football long enough to know that suddenly, sometimes you say to the player, sometimes if you think you're a player and you can play, that's the time when you're going to get tripped up and they'll come back and just bite you in the bum. And so as I say, my experience tells me that as well as it's very, very nice and it's a nice position to be in, the job has still got to be finished yet. But we're well on the way to finalising our 2020 plans. All the players will tell you, or particularly the coaches and management as well, it's a real hard time just to keep the lads together, training, and then particularly because, and again going back to the sort of, the 3G, 4G pitches that Helston we want to build a place, because there's not enough of them around. You try and get them. The very fact that the games are cancelled because all the grass pitches are out of, are not fit to play on. So you've got them there. Then either you're going to have to find training indoors, all the 3Gs, and everything's booked up. So it's been a real pain, an absolute pain to try and keep all the guys together. And then you lose that momentum that was building up, and teams you get to play in a particular way, and the guys are look forward to the next one. We're playing 2 games a week, something that all just stops. It is a real problem. But if everybody's in the same boat, and we've just got to get on with it. We just got to get on with it. Well, I got to say, I went to the Launceston pitch on Friday. It had just gone 3 o'clock. It was pouring down with rain. The grass was long. There hadn't been any markings on it. Then I found out they hadn't played on it since December the 2nd, and you can see it hadn't been played on, and it was just like a field. There was water lying about majority of the pitch, and I just thought, there's no way we're going to play in there in less than 24 hours time. There's just no way. But I have to say, great credit to the Launceston people and the ground staff, because when I turned up on Saturday and yesterday with them and looked at the pitch, it was like, was this the ground I looked at? This is the ground I was here, just not 22 hours earlier, because they'd done a great job with it. And while it was very, very heavy, very heavy and cut up, wasn't the place. We've got a number of guys that like to run with the ball, your Billy Tuckers and Alfie Flacks, that like to dribble past people. It certainly wasn't their conditions. But we had a game of football. That's all you can ask for. The wind spoilt it as well. Again, any of the players will tell you. The rain's not too bad. You can play with the rain. It's always it's forwards weather, but the wind is a real nuisance, and it was certainly windy yesterday. But it was an excellent win in the conditions. We would have settled for that clean sheet, 3 points, 3 goals, and it was job done. Moved on to the next one. Yes, yeah. We had a large squad with us yesterday. In fact, we could have had a full-size game between ourselves. We had 20, 21 warming up yesterday. So our bench on our side is quite full of players and sat in there. I rested, left out of the 16 completely, both the Beaties, Ollie Brokenshire, just to give them a little bit more time and things. So they're all sat in the dugout, and they've all got the phones. They've got the phones with them, and it came through to say, Marzolo winning 1-0. And we thought, no, they're not, you wind your own. It's, no, that's right, 1-0, 1-0. Of course, it was even more questionable when they're 2-0 up now, Marzolo 2-0 up. And there was a bit of a stir, and you're thinking, and all the guys are all suddenly saying, don't tell them, it's not going to affect us, but we're still talking about it, that Marzolo 2-0 up. And they come in at half time, and you can't help it. I mean, that's what we've been building for. We know that Saltash are our closest competitors, and every week, and just as they will be having a look, how are they getting on at Launceston? How are they doing? How are Helston doing? So it was, it was more than perhaps one eye. Certainly there was a ear, a two that also was on, and it was a little nervy. Last 7 or 10 minutes, we were all in the dressing room. Our game had finished. We knew that Saltash had come back to 2-2, and it was the guys who just kept refreshing the phones, and then there was a little bit of a cheer and a thank you, Ashy, a thank you, Jakey, that they'd taken 2 points off Saltash yesterday. I know, you'd love me to say that. No, not at all. Not until it's mathematically possible. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even think about the title. If that, I know it might sound daft. Yes, of course, and we're saying we want to be championship winners, but the goal has always been, which is along with this, with our 2020, is promotion. And I think we're nearly there to sort of say, yeah, we've ticked the box for promotion. So I like to think that we can go and seal that first, and then, yeah, if the title comes and that, we'll just keep winning. Hopefully winning games, and then seal that title. But we know we're quite capable of going and achieving that. But it's certainly far from in the bag yet. Yeah, and he came on and made his debut in this new era now that the club's in. Matty Buchan, and absolutely thrilled to bits that he's coming to join us to actually strengthen our squad. What he brings to us, you saw that. Yes, I saw that yesterday. He's so strong. He's good in the air. Centre half, so we're big lads anyway. We're just bouncing off them. And I'd like to think as well, he will tell you now, if he was sat in here, he's probably got another 20-25% buzz and adrenaline flow through it in his performances, because he's come back, he's put the blue shirt on of Helston, of which he is a local lad. He feels that that's where he'd like to be, that's where he wants to be. I said to him at the time, I think it was right for him to go. And sometimes I made this announcement, which I made a few of the boys laugh in the dressing room afterwards. I said sometimes you have to, not even just in football, in business, even relationships, you have to actually maybe just go away to appreciate what you've actually got and how well it's run. And contrary to what maybe people on the outside are saying about the club and myself and how we run it very, very well. And sometimes it's just appreciated that you go away from it and you think, yeah, it's not the bad. And certainly Matt feels he's a Helston boy, and he's going to be a great
asset to us, and he brings us something a little bit different than maybe what the other guys are. We've got some really talented, quick, pacey dribblers, should we say, and Goldie and Ed's for the eye for a goal and things, and just that anything pops in the 6-yard box, and then Goldie bang. Yesterday, Goldie worked hard, probably a little bit ineffective in our own team play. Not that he wasn't working hard, but this way, and suddenly, bang, he turns left foot, and he puts us 1-0 up, and that's Goldie, you know. And Bucks brings us, as well as he can score goals, he brings us a little bit more than that, particularly with his aggression. And he's going to be a huge asset for it. And one of the things as well that I liked about it, he mentioned that he'd like to play as high as he can, and he's looking at us next year into that Western League, and wants to give it a go in the Western League next year, which I love that. I love that ambition in players, and he fits perfectly that into what we're hoping and wanting to do here at this club. So he's going to be a great asset. Yes, my baby has been which started two years ago. I knew that we had and it's been talked about, documented on many occasions, that I wanted a strong top of that youth group, which happened to be the under-18s. We had a very successful under-16s, which we've still got at this moment in time now, and our under-15s, our under-13s is very, very good, and we've got a strong youth section. But we needed a strong 18 section, a platform that then went on into the first team. The boys can go in the first team, or playing our reserve side, and going on into the first team. And certainly the guys, Stuart Giles and Martin Daughtry, were brought into the club 2 seasons ago now. We've had a very, very successful, and furthest anybody at our level's gone into the first round proper of the FA Youth Cup than anybody's done before, and I'm really, really proud of that. But I think with that, there's a huge commitment to staying on top of that level. And Stuart and Martin approached myself and the club sort of November time to say that they were maybe thinking of this was going to be their last season, the commitment and everything else that's involved with it. But Martin, again, after a few hours of talking and things and finding the situation, there's no way that he wanted Martin to lead the club. He's an absolute godsend and such a nice guy. He knows his football. There's nothing, or he doesn't know about any of the youngsters that's in the area, particularly down here in the west of Cornwall. And I'm pleased to say that Martin will actually now, we've made a new position which Martin will take, and he's going to be head of player recruitment for next season, which is going to be from even the under 15s age group to identify any of this talent, and also any of the guys that maybe have got through the net that are in and around Cornwall. And Martin will be his own boss. He'll go and watch games, source players, be very, very close to me with the first team, and along with myself, brother Stu and Paul, and Martin will now come and join the senior team. And the big picture is bringing these youngsters on. And yesterday on the team sheet, on the 16, in the squad of 16 yesterday, I had five under 18s. That's the platform they've been given to actually, when they've gone into the first team and maybe thought, oh, this is the highest level of football you can play in Cornwall, and I'm in there. Do I really believe it in here? Now, some of them like Harrison Jewells or Lewis Tonkins, Kai Cornish, Josh Story, they've all come in and felt that part. There's one or two of them still hadn't felt that they belonged there. But then coming back into the under 18s on that Sunday or in the midweek games when we've had, give them that little bit of swagger to have that confidence that they could build their confidence again, which then filled that, if you like, that confidence bucket up to go back in the first team again, and it gives them that, yeah, I can do this, I can do this. And it's certainly been a platform for them to establish themselves. We are, aren't we? That's what we're doing. I used to say that about Kevin Heaney. And Kevin used to say, and he'd disbanded, Pete Masters was another one, disbanded everything else from underneath it. The ladies and the youth section and things. And it's just like putting a scaffolding tower on sand. Because it might stay there for a bit, but they'll continue just what it will just, right? And eventually it will fall. And that without the foundation underneath, without the club underneath. I went the other night, and in fact I tweeted it, as I usually do. I live on Twitter. I went up to the club for a particular reason on it was a Monday night. And I drove into the club, and the car park's packed. It's packed, and I think, what's happening here? I didn't. And both our pool teams are there. The function room is being used as it was for Slimming World there. We had all these ladies, and it was packed. The bar was packed. This is Monday night, and you think, yeah, this is right, because Helston is the hub of the community, and you have to have those strong foundations underneath it, and we will continue to build that. You know, the St Piran side, Barry Hennessy's doing a fantastic job in that. The combination side with Richie Full, that's another pathway for these youngsters. But they're all part of the club. Women's football team will be back at Helston, bigger and better and stronger than before, with an ambition as well to go and win that Cornish League. We want to go and win that Cornish League, and we certainly feel we've got the guy that's going to propel us there and take us there. There's a real buzz about the whole of the place, and that only just comes with winning football matches. And that's what I always said when I first came in 3 years ago. It's always been said. I used to do the Massey mutterings. I remember doing one particular article saying, "Oh, these big clubs, what makes a successful football club?" And it's just simple. You win football matches. You just win football matches. People want to be associated with. We're having people come about sponsorship for next year, particularly because after Truro City, they probably Saltash will be at the top of the county though, but certainly down here in Cornwall, there'll be no other team playing at that level of football than Helston, and we're very, very proud of that. Yeah, it does. I'd be lying if it didn't say if it didn't appeal to me. I thought, yeah, maybe because just the football not to start with. I love travelling, so what could be better than going travelling and watching the Colonel side there. Whether we do with it this moment with this virus stuff that's talking about, which I think is, in my limited knowledge, I'm not even going to speak on it as if I'm some sort of expert. Everybody's been asked their advice and things. I have no idea. I just think it's a little bit over the top, particularly when you talk about figures that how many deaths are from flu and how many deaths every day and heart attacks and things. And this is tiny thing, but I don't know, our media sometimes would love to sensationalise everything. I suppose it keeps people talking about it and keeps people in jobs. But so whether that has a big impact, whether you're allowed to travel at the moment, I just said this yesterday, even with the handshakes, and it might not be, it probably isn't politically correct, but I just looked at it and thought they just walked along the line and replacing the handshake, there's a nod. There's a nod now. I think, really? Is that really going to, I don't know. But again, I'm not even any qualified to ask me about tactics and the recruiting of players. Yeah, but this virus, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know. It can you wash it off? Is it finished? I don't know. But that's going to maybe have a big impact. And I'm sure that's crossed the minds about this competition. I have my doubts about just the quality of it that it's going to be over there. Only just based on the back of the fact that there was supposed to be this competition in Yorkshire, wasn't there, for all these nations that were supposed to be done in June this year, and that didn't happen because they couldn't get themselves to Yorkshire in June. So I don't know whether that's still going to be the case. Getting out to Macedonia. They've got 16 teams at the moment. I think they'll have something to keep all 16 teams there together. This the funding that's needed and things, and it's a lot of funding. But I think as players themselves, and if I would have been, I've asked myself, would I be keen to go? Yeah, because it's an experience. And if that's going to give you an experience of travelling the world, playing football against other nations, as such, in an environment that you would probably never have an opportunity to do again. And I know that certain of the players, certainly too from our club, I think there was, if everybody was on a level playing field and can go, we would probably have sent or been selected 6 from us. There's 4 going at the moment. And the 2 guys understand they've got family commitments and considerations to think about it. So, but if there is the opportunity to go and play and bet and be in a competition of that ilk, if you like, then go for it. But I still have my doubts that there'll be 16 nations kicking off in June at the World Cup in Macedonia. That's probably going to break our season, to be perfectly honest. We are of the opinion that maybe, like yesterday, that if there is a possibility, and I know Saltash has got some tough games still coming up. Falmouth to play twice, Bodmin, and I know that they're not going to give anything away at all. Gilby, he's going to be right up for it. just as we did just yesterday. I mean, we've won 23 on the trot. Everybody wants to finish our run and say that they stopped Helston in their track. I do see it from ourselves for the title that is the game. We've got them at home first, and where the position is now, if we keep winning games, then we just have to Saltash have to beat us twice now in that position. We're already thinking, and the guy you cannot help but think we've got 3 games now before we play the Saltash one. It's about a fortnight's time. I think it's a week on Saturday, it's going to be good. And I think rightly we are the top 2 sides. There's some very, very good sides and quite clearly capable of beating any side in this league, or teams are. But I think Saltash and ourselves is going to be the game that's going to be talked about, and probably will define our season. We're looking forward to it very much.